Okay, my clock's telling me it's 4:30 by my time, and also a few words about our lovely sponsors who have made this whole event possible. So, thanks to Watchful.net, who are one of the headline sponsors, new one, e-commerce labs, which you might not see written, but they've come in quite late as a sponsor. OS Training, Russian, Danico Enterprises, Rytech Sites, and there's a whole load of them. And if you have a look in your program and on the site, you can find out about them. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to Peter. He's going to tell us how to make Joomla 4 even easier for your customers.
Easier for your customers. I will do it in 4 parts. And what I show you on sheets, I will also do in a live demo. If you have any questions, ask Richard on the chat. And yeah, he will decide when to ask them. Maybe during the presentation or otherwise after the presentation. Doesn't really matter. So to make things easier is mostly to limit choices. And one of my favorite books about usability, it's an oldie. It's from Steve Krug called Don't Make Me Think. And one of his chapters is called Omit Needless Words. And needless is crossed out, so it's actually omit words. In this presentation, I will use a fictitious company called Initech. And people who have seen the movie Office Space from 1999, they will understand more about what I tell you. And in this case, I'm the marketing department of Office Space, which I just thought of myself. They made a phone call to me about the Joomla 4 backend. And they asked me, can you maximize our administrators' experience in order to optimize our marketing efforts with minimum maintenance efforts? Meaning, they just want to have a simpler backend. Because if you start with Joomla, you have so many options. It's so flexible. Yeah, and you can just arrange everything how you want it. And how you can arrange things to make it easier and to limit choices, I will show you now in 4 different parts. So first of all, the users. You could limit the choices for user groups. So I will create a user group and I'll call it marketing group. I will create a viewing access level, which I call marketing level. And then I will do something with permissions. The people from the marketing group should be allowed to log into the backend. They should be able to manage articles from the category news, but only from news and no other articles. And they should be able to manage redirects. So if you have faulty links, Joomla can register those faulty links. It's about 404 errors. And it's better for your SEO, so search engine optimization, to redirect them to proper pages. And the marketing department, I think they can handle that if you configure it for them. So first of all, the user groups. So user groups are sort of categories for users. It's not like the Joomla categories, but it's just a category of users that use the system. And you can assign proper permissions and also access levels, viewing access levels to them. In order to create a new user group, in Joomla, you go to users, you click on groups and then new. And then you can create a user group. In my case, the group title would be marketing group and the group parent is public. There are different opinions about how to start with the group parent. Some people use registered and put the marketing group just under registered. I am a Linux fan. I use Linux as an operating system, which is just closed from the ground down. And if you want to open ports or give more permissions on this system, on the Linux system, you have to do it yourself. And this principle I also like in a Joomla website. So I start with public. So the marketing people don't have any more permissions than people who just visit the front end of your website. That way you can easily, really determine what the marketing group is able to do in your website. So therefore, public. When you created a marketing group, and I think it's here at the bottom, I just created the marketing group. So now I'm going to create a viewing access levels. So a viewing access level in Joomla is what someone from a certain user group can see on a certain page. And by default, if you go to a user's access levels, new and access levels, you have the default access levels in Joomla. So the public is just the public front end, and special is what is in the back end for authors, managers, and super users. I will create a new one because I want to have them only what they see. I want to configure it for them. So I click on new, and I create a new marketing level group, access level, and I give it the groups, the marketing group, I assign it to them. So I will end up with a marketing level, and the marketing group is the group that is assigned to the marketing level. Now, let's talk about permissions. Permissions is what a certain user group can do in a certain component in Joomla. It's also called access control list, and it's really granular. You can do a lot with this in Joomla. So I would like to do 4 things for the marketing group. They should be able to log into the backend. They should be able to manage content, but only from the categories news. And they should be able to do redirects in Joomla. So first, let's give them login access, which you do by going to System, Global Configuration, and then you click on Permissions. Then you have all these kinds of groups. And when you click on Marketing Group, you can put the administrator login to allowed. Everything else, I will keep it like this, so they cannot do anything else here. They can log in, they cannot do anything. The next thing is I want them to give access to the administrator interface. You do that by going to Content, Articles, and then you click on Options. And then on the tab Permissions, you do the same with Marketing Group. With all the kinds of permissions that you can give, I only give access in administration interface. I put it to allowed. Now I'm going to configure the news category for the marketing group. So I go to Content, Categories, and I create already a news category. And then when I click on it, on permissions, I can assign a marketing group, and I assign all the different permissions for them. It's all allowed. They can create stuff, they can delete articles, edit the state, so published, unpublished, or even delete, and also edit their own. And it's all allowed now for them, but only this category. Finally, the redirects. So if there are faulty links, the marketing group should be able to create redirects for those. You go to System, Redirects, Permissions. Then for the marketing group, I allow everything except for the configure stuff. They don't need to configure anything. It's just accessing the interface and creating the redirects. So now I will create a user. One of the people in the marketing department, his name is Mark Ting, and he works for the marketing department, and I create a new user for him. So in Joomla, you go to Users, Manage New. You have done it before, I imagine. And when you create like that, you have to assign Mark to the marketing group. When you open the website in a new browser and you log in the backend with Mark, then you can see that there is nothing to see in the backend. Just toggle menu, but there's no menu. I will do that later. And there is also no title and no toolbar. So to do that, in the Joomla backend, you go to System Administrator modules, and you duplicate the title and the toolbar module. Those are admin modules. And what you have to do is you have to assign the access level to marketing level. So you can see here, hopefully, a title with special rights for the super admin, author, etc. And also title 2, which I just copied, and it's for the marketing level, and the same for the toolbar. And if you do that, you will see something like the title of the page. So this is the home dashboard. So what I did in the users, I created a new user group called marketing group. I created a new view access level called marketing level. I created permissions for the marketing group to log in into the backend, to manage articles from the category news, and to manage the redirects. If you have a really big website with a lot of different user groups, then ACL Manager, it's a commercial extension from Sander Potcher. I can recommend this to do that. In my case, this is really small, and so I do it manually. So the next thing is menus. If you want to do something with the menus, like create an admin menu for the marketing, and also a module. And what I also want to do is to create two links to menu items. One to access the category news articles, and the other one to do the redirects to solve the faulty links. So let's first create a new admin menu. In the backend of Joomla, you go to menus, manage, you select the administrator label because by default, Joomla displays the front end menus. And when you have the menu of the administrator menus, there is an option called new. And I create a menu called marketing menu. And what's really nice in Joomla, there is something called import a preset. And what I do, because this marketing group should do something with the content, I select the preset content dashboard. And after you have done that, you need to create an admin module. So in system admin modules, I go to, I duplicate the admin menu. And what I do, I edit the copy. And what I do is I assign it to show the marketing menu. And also access should be marketing level. I will show that in a demo later. So something what I now already do, it's something for part 3, the dashboard. So if in Joomla you go to menus, you will see that you now have an administrator part with the marketing menu that you just created. And when you select it, you will see here content menus. It's the placeholder, the menu heading. When you open it, you could somewhere create a dashboard identifier. And I will show you later what it means. In my case, I call it marketing dashboard. Joomla will get rid of the space. So the other thing is I just created the articles menu. And now I will create a redirects menu. So in Joomla, menus, administrator, marketing menu, I go to new and I choose the redirects. I call it also redirects. And I will add an icon maps sign redirect icon. So when Mark Ting logs into the backend of Joomla, he now has content and redirect with a really nice image. Because I created a sort of dashboard placeholder, you can see here the tiles. It's not the window symbol, it's the dashboard. So what I did, I created an admin menu called marketing menu. I created an admin menu module that shows the marketing menu and with access marketing level. I created 2 menu items, one for articles that will be configured to only show the news articles and a redirect. So the third part is the dashboard. So to make things easier is to give the marketing department a couple of views. So it's easy to find content or easy to find the latest changes. So I will create a dashboard. And on the dashboard, I create a couple of modules like the admin module, and I assign it to marketing level. Like I will create an article latest menu module and a custom module for customer support so they can find my telephone number when they run into troubles. So first, let's create a new latest articles dashboard module. So I go to content, admin modules, and I duplicate the recently added articles. And what I do is I assign the category to news. I assign the access level to marketing level, and The position is by default cPanel, which is the home page in the backend. But when you do a cPanel dash marketing dashboard, then it will be assigned to your content where the cPanel marketing dashboard is defined. The next thing is I will create a custom module. And the custom module, I will put some code in it that displays my logo and my phone number. And I also assign it to the marketing level and to the cPanel marketing dashboard. So the result for the person in the marketing department, when they log in and they go to content, if they click on the dashboard icon of the content dashboard, they will see the latest news of edit, but only in the news art category, and some information about how to get support when they run into troubles. So what I did, I created an admin module for marketing level, two of those, and I assigned them to the cPanel for marketing dashboard. It's the latest articles that I created and a custom module. And if you want to read more, there's an excellent article in the Joomla community magazine of February 2022. It's called Joomla for Clients, Part 2, Streaming a Streamlined Admin Experience. It's written by Crystal Dionisopoulou, and I can recommend it. It has a lot of information about how to work with the dashboards. Then the last part, it's called content. Let's simplify the content management for the marketing department. And we do that by reducing choices. I will show you two different ways. One is with a template override, and the other one is using a conversion extension. So we will only show what the user needs, so we will hide what they don't need. If you go to Joomla in the backend, in the Joomla articles, so you go to content articles, you have a lot of information, all those articles with the status, etc. And when you open an article or when you create a new one, you will have a lot of tabs. So you have content, images and links, options, publishing, configure edit screens, permissions. And if you have a multilingual website, you will also have associations here. By the way, because the persons from the marketing department, they don't have rights to do anything with permissions. So they cannot configure it. So the permissions is not in their profile. But the others are. Furthermore, you have a lot of things like status, category. It's really a lot of information. And also if you need stuff from the other tabs, it's a lot. So I will show you two ways, and I mentioned another one, to hide tabs or fields. So first of all, template overrides. So before you do an override, there is something in Joomla, and it's called options. And if you go to article options and editing layout, you can configure a lot of options, like should it show the publishing options, which is the created date, modified date, etc. The article options, which is all the different options that you can assign to a single article, like if it should show the title or not, etc. The edit screen options, the article permissions, multilingual associations, enable versions, and also somewhere down the page, it says something like images and links. If you hide all those, then you have gotten rid of all the tabs. However, this is done for all the user groups. So not only for the marketing user group, all the user groups won't see all those item options anymore. But you can do that. And to hide certain fields, what you can do is you can create a template override. In order to do that, go to System and then Administrator Templates. Autumn is the current template of Joomla in the backend. Go to the Details and Files, and then create overrides. And you have to create an override of components, com_content, and then the article view. Joomla will then create a new file in Administrator Templates Autumn HTML, com_content, article edit.php, and this file you're going to edit. So somewhere it says echo layout helper, Joomla edit global, which has all the things that you see on the front, on the right side. And if you remove this and just add a couple of labels like the state, which is published, unpublished, or the cat ID, which will display the category, then you can tweak it a bit. So this is how I tweaked it. So all the other tabs are switched off in options, and all the other fields here are switched off because I only I switched off the globals, and I just included 3 different ones like published, category, and language. So this is a nice way to make it easier, but this will be everywhere. It's a bit difficult. I mean, it's not, you have to do something in the code. It will be the same for everybody and also for every category. And some of the fields are required, like language. Even if you don't have a multilingual website, Joomla expects that you have the language there. You cannot disable it. I mean, you have to tell them it's an asterisk if it's all for all languages. And also, when you do something, when Joomla updates the autumn, the changes won't be in the override. That's something you have to consider. If you want to know more about template overrides, there is a really nice article in the Joomla community magazine, also the same February issue. It's called Joomla 4 Cassiopeia template. It's a bunch of tricks and tips. It's written by Marc de Chèvre. This is about the front-end template, but you can use a lot of his stuff that he describes also in the backend templates. I think it's also, he describes something about the new child templates that are in Joomla 4.1. Another thing what you could do is write a content plugin. I did not do it here, I just mentioned it here. So something really powerful in Joomla is that there are a couple of hooks in the code, and you can write a plugin that listens to those hooks, and it will, the events, it will hook into these events. So one is called onContent prepare form. So before a form is shown on the page, you can change things, like you can maybe create fields or change fields, like you want to have some fields required, and then you can just do something and it will, done on the fly. It's a bit similar like template overrides. You can just hide stuff, but it's more persistent because if there is a template update, you will still, your plugin will probably still work. Finally, extensions. So what you also could do, there is a commercial extension. It's made by Sigrid Gramlinger from Austria and myself, and it's called D2 Profiles. For Joomla 3, we had a component called D2 Content Pro, and because in Joomla 4 we wrote it from the ground up, totally from scratch, and what we did is we made it more flexible, and I will show it in a demo later. What you can do with this component is you can create profiles, edit profiles, and those profiles will be shown based on the context of the page. So which component, client, view are you using? You can also base it on user groups that are using it, or even categories, or even language, or combinations between those. The extension has an edit layout where you can define the tabs that you want to have, and you can also define field sets on those tabs. Then you can choose which fields you want to show, and also custom fields, and you can assign them to tabs and field sets. So this is the edit profile. This is how you can create a profile, and here I created a profile for the marketing department, which is called marketing profile. It should run when the articles, like content, is run in the backend, and only for the article view, so for the edit article. Here I did not assign it yet to the marketing group, but if you do, then only the marketing group will see this view. And it's assigned to the news category. So only for the news category, this profile will be used. Here I created one tab called marketing news, and I created a couple of field sets like text, properties, and dates. And here I just created all the fields. I assigned all the fields to the different tabs. To the same tab with the different field sets. Everything is shown and nothing is required. But you could also maybe, if there's a publish date, you could set it to required. So when it's run, the marketing department, when they edit an article in the news category, they will have the article content here the properties like the image, and here all the dates like created, but also start and finish publishing. The extension is this component. It's a package with a component in it to manage the profiles. There's a system plugin that looks when it should run, and there are profile plugins. One that is now there, it's for the content, and for the other for the banners, and more to follow. It will be a commercial extension. The price will probably be 79 euros. And the subscribers to D2 Content Pro, the current subscribers, they will also be able to use this D2 profiles. And if you are interested in the demo, you can register at this URL, and then we will inform you when the demo is when the beta version is there, and you can use it yourself, the beta version. But for future updates, you need a subscription. And a subscription is for unlimited sites, just like Akiba Backup or JCA work. So what I did, I made the content easier first by creating an admin template override. And then I created also, I showed you a bit about D2 profiles. Are there any questions so far?
Nobody's put their hand up yet, so sure there must be some questions.
Then I will do the demo now. So I have this local website. It's called Unitech, and this is the front end of this website. You can see we have a lot of people working here. These are the people working in the software company. There's also some news about the printer finally got fixed. I have a new stapler and also a new slogan, something about services and about home. And this news page, the marketing department should do the maintenance for this part. So when I go to the backend, I will show all the things that I told about in the presentation. So we will create first a user group called marketing. Oh, I have to log in. I'm logged in now. So I go to the groups, users, groups. I create a new level called marketing group, and I assign it to public. So now I have marketing group. There's nobody here yet, no users. Then I go to the access levels. I will create a new access level called marketing level. And I created those names just to make it clear that this is the marketing level. In real life, I would not call it marketing level, I would call it marketing, but just for the presentation, it's easier to see which part I'm doing, because this is marketing group now. So the level, marketing level, I assigned the marketing group to that level. Then I can go to the permissions, and there are a couple of different ways to go to the permissions. So you can go to System, Global Configuration, Permissions, and here you can assign all the permissions. But what you also could do, if you are in users and you're in access levels or whatever, wherever, there's options. And the options here are just for the component, but if you go to the global configuration, which is also here, you are on the same page as what I just showed you via System. So what I do in global configuration, I will go to the marketing permissions and then the marketing group. And then I will go to the administrator login, and I will allow them to log in as administrator. So this is the only thing that you have to do here. Save and close. So the next thing is if I go to content, articles, I go to options. And in articles, I would like to give the marketing group permission to access the administrator interface. So that's here. I don't have to save it. It's already there. If I refresh the page, you can see it's still allowed. It's really nice. When the Joomla started out with ACL, you had to change and then to save, but now it just saves automatically. So the next thing, if I go to categories and I go to the news category, this is the news category, and I go to permissions. And for the marketing group, I can just set all the permissions to allowed. But this is only for the news category. So I allow everything in the news category. So the next thing, when I go into the backend, or when I have a user, they don't see anything. Well, okay, let's first do that. I will create a new user, and the user is called marketing. His name is Mark. Password. The email is Mark at Unitech. And now I go to assigned user groups and I assign them to the marketing group. I leave the registered here, but for the demo, it doesn't really matter. So if I now go to my other browser, this is the Firefox browser, because then I have two different sessions at the same time. And I log in with Mark. So when Mark logs in, oh yeah, something else. I made a small template hack. And in the template hack, I just put some color here for all the people that are logged in and they are not part of the super user group. Because then, yeah, it's easier to see that I'm now in the backend doing stuff from the marketing department. You can see I don't have anything here and I don't have any menu here. So I go back to the backend. I go to System Administrator modules. And I have two modules, the title and the toolbar, that I'm going to duplicate. This is a bit confusing because now you have to select administrator again. But here I can see title. So title, and I will make it published. I will make it for the marketing level. And the toolbar as well. I will say it's published. And it should be for the marketing level. When I go back to my Firefox browser and log in, you can see home dashboard. So this works already. The next thing I'm going to do is I will create menus. So if I go to menus, manage, I have to select here administrator, and I press new. It's called marketing menu. Marketing menu for the marketing department, and for the preset, I select the content dashboard. There are different kinds of presets. Like if you do the Joomla main menu, then you have exactly everything that the Joomla main menu has. But I only need the stuff on the content dashboard. So I just created it, marketing menu. I have now 12 menu items. When I go to the marketing menu, you can see I have 12 different items. When I go in the backend, I'm sorry, for Firefox, so this is the marketing department again. I don't have anything here because I have to create a menu module for that. So system, administrator modules. I have the admin module and I choose save as copy. I will publish it. I will assign the access level to marketing level. And I don't use a preset, but I use the marketing menu. So now I have content and content settings. Let's assume that you don't want content settings. Then in the backend of Joomla, you go to menus, marketing menu, and you just switch it off. Same with modules and media, you just switch it off. And now I have content here. If you would like to have the content dashboard here, then you go to content menus, And on this page at the bottom here, it says dashboard, and I call it marketing dashboard. When I save it, you will see that Joomla removes the space. So marketing dashboard is the name without the space. It doesn't really matter if you use upper or lowercase. So if I go back here, you can see there is these tiny tiles. When I click on it, nothing happens because I still need to create modules that are assigned to this cPanel. Back to the to here, I go to system, and I go to redirects because I also want to do something with the redirects. First, I have to enable it, and I'm at the wrong place. I have to enable it, but I was doing something with the menus. So in a marketing menu, I have all these menus. I create a new menu item for the redirects. The menu item is called redirects, and I call it here redirect as well. When I save it, and I go back to marketing department view, why not? Published, marketing menu, redirects. Did I assign? So redirects here has the marketing department access to the redirects. Did I do that here during the presentation? If I go to options, marketing, no, I forgot to do that. Okay, so I'm now in the options of redirect, in the permissions, and for the marketing group, I will say they are allowed to access the interface, and they could do anything here. Save. Then I go back, and now I have really nice redirects. However, I would like to have the icon here. It looks better. So I go back. This is the redirect icon. It's also here. So when I do inspect, I can see here span class is icon map signs. I copy it. And I go to the menus, marketing menu. I go to the redirects. And here on icon class, I copy this. And when I go here, now I also have a really nice icon here for the redirects. So the marketing department can create new redirects now and also new content. But if I go to articles, oh yeah, I only see here the articles that then they are allowed to create. In categories, I can see all the categories. I cannot click any, only the news. So now let's do something with the dashboard. So if I go to system, administrator modules. By the way, I also can go to content administrator modules. It's the same. First of all, I want to do something with the latest. I'm not sure if it's called latest. Yeah, no, recently added articles. So what I do, I just duplicate it, save as a copy. I publish it and I assign it to the marketing level. I would like to see only the latest news because the marketing department only has to see that. And by default it's cPanel. So if I save it, and if I go back to Firefox, what you can see here, this is the cPanel, the home dashboard. When I click content, you don't see anything. But if I assign the here cPanel marketing dashboard and not this one, but a hyphen. And I save it, go back to here. So when I click here, you can now see this one. The next thing is I would like to create a new module, custom module, support. And yeah, I have the wrong editor here. Sorry, I have to change it because I like to use the JCE editor. And I'm going to System, Administrator Modules, and I create a new one called Custom. And now I can really do this. And this is the HTML view. I have, I have a file snippet. It's called dashboard support. It has some HTML code that I put here. Call it support. The access level should be marketing level. The position should be C panel marketing dashboard. If I do save and close, and I go to the other side, now they have the support here. So this is an SVG, which I encoded. It's just HTML now with some icons and email address. So this is what they can do now. If I go to articles and I would create a new article, I have all these options. So what you could do in the Joomla backend when you are in articles, options, editing layout, you could hide all those options and even the administrator images and links. Save. And if I go to backend, so now I only have the content and news field group. This is custom field that I created just for the marketing department for the news group. And they cannot change it here because I have to do something with the field group assignment. Also, I don't have any icons here, and that's because I have to go to components, JCE Pro, profiles. I have an optimized profile, but I have to assign it also to the marketing group. And now the marketing group has nice icons. So this is a way to get rid of those icons here. The other thing is, if I go to System, Site Templates, I can go to the Cassiopeia. So what I do is I go create overrides, and I would like to create an overrides. Oh, sorry, this is the front end. I have to go to the administrator. So the autumn. So this is the autumn template. I go to overrides and I create an override for the content of the article. So there is an override created in administrator template autumn HTML content article, which is here. This one, the edit. And just to see if I'm really in the right place, I just go here. I say hello, JoomlaDay USA. And if I go here to, if I go to the backend here, it says hello, JoomlaDay USA. So I know that I'm in the right place. And what I do now, I just get rid of the of my hello, JoomlaDay USA. And I look here for the echo layout, and I just get rid of it. And I have a small snippet already with the override, so I don't have to type it now. So instead of this, I will add a label for state and category ID. When I go back, I only have published and category. And when I do something, I get the error. Oh, the article is, oh, I switched off the thing with the languages, and therefore I don't have to add the languages here. So this is nice. Okay, so this is the way to create a template override in Joomla. But this template override is everywhere. Even if I go to the administrator, if I go to articles, and I go to edit an article of a person that's there, I also have the same view. So this is for the whole website. Everybody has the same view. What I do, I just will remove this template override. It's easy to do it like this. So now the template override is gone. Should be gone. Close. Yeah, now it's gone again. So the other thing is I have here a component, the commercial component called D2 Profiles. If you go to the dashboard, it has a plugin, a system plugin, and the component has also to profile plugins like articles and banners. So when I go to D2 profiles, I have one marketing profile. When I switch it on and I assign this marketing profile to the marketing group, so the marketing group and news, and I have all these fields here, and I can also create a new field like let's call it let's do it like this. So I have a new tab with a new field set, and I can create a new page there, like maybe the alt text. No, not the alt, just image, the full text image. I will assign it to hello, and also the note. Save and close. So if I go to here and I open an article, what you can see here, I have the JoomlaDay USA with the full text image and with a note here. And also only the things that the marketing department should need, like text, like they can select something. And if I go to another article like the printer fixed, they have here the text, the image, and when it should start publishing. And if I don't want this hello, I can go to the marketing profile. I can just hide it. Sorry, I can just hide it. And this one I will put on the text from the properties. Yeah, properties. Save. So if I go now here, the note is now required. I just did it like that. So you have to fill it out. So these are things that you can do with this extension. And also when you go to in the backend again, I can just export the profile. I can also import profiles. So I have test with 3 categories, and I open it, process. So now I have different kinds of profiles, like a documentation profile, which has only category, language, text, etc. So you can make your own profiles and just insert them on other websites. So this is yeah, basically it, how you can change your Joomla website to make it easier for your customers to work with. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I'm just going to butt in. Peter, you've got a couple of questions. Martin has asked, do you put in front-end editing?
At the moment, you mean for the commercial extension?
Exactly. I guess for the marketing group, could they do front-end? At
the moment, no. I mean, I could do like that, but I mean, I could create a template override for the front end in Cassiopeia for the marketing department. The D2 profiles doesn't have a front-end view yet. That's something on the roadmap. But I prefer that the marketing department works in the backend, because that's easier, because then you always have the same layout. And actually, yeah, if you have it like this, yeah, I think it's better to do it in the backend. They have a better overview, because if you work in single articles and you edit the articles, it's more difficult, I think.
Cool. We've also got a question from Joe. He says, how much setup time do you recommend the Joomla site builder should allocate to setting up a custom admin experience per user group type when doing a new site?
Depends on your use case. I mean, if you have a lot of user groups and a lot of, yeah, it's the same with the editor. I mean, if I go to an article editor, how much time would you like to spend to do this? I mean, JCE editor, it really has a nice feature that you could create a nice profile with all those icons that you need. You can export it, and on your other side, you can just import it, and you can work with that. And if you have a customer base that needs tables, well, then you can create a copy of it, assign it to that user group, and add tables to it. So, yeah, how much time? I think I just did for the marketing group. It took me maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, what I just created, and also with this extension. But also, if I do it with template overrides, yeah. If you estimate it for an hour per user group, then I think that you should be safe. But I should always start with the how do you say, with public.
Sure. One more question from Mike, who's a little bit confused. Says, everything that you've done just now, can you do that without the commercial plugin?
Yes, except for the part for the commercial plugin that I showed. I mean, let me show you. If I switched off the commercial plugin, so I just switch off the D2 profiles, and I go back, then you just have Joomla again. And what you see here with the content, with the dashboard, with the redirects and content articles. Oh, I did one thing wrong. If I click content articles, I also see other articles. So I forgot to do one thing. I have to go to menus, marketing menu. I go to articles, and I have to say article category should be the news. Save and close. And now when they go to content, articles, they just have the news pre-selected. So what you see now here is just plain Joomla without any extension. The only thing where I used the commercial extension was for the user experience, for the edit profiles, and also for the overview that you have the icons here of the intro images. If you decide to use template overrides, which will be on all the views, then you can just use plain Joomla. It's all in the core.
That's great. Do we have any more questions? So I think we're getting towards the point where we're going to wrap up. So I think everyone's happy.
Great.
Okay. Well, on behalf of Peter and myself, I'd like to thank everybody for attending. And don't forget, there's an awful lot more today and tomorrow as well.
And the presentation will be available on petermartin.nl after this presentation. I will just I will make it available.
Great. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to end the session now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.